Good morning, everyone. My name is Salwa. I'm here with Dafin and Jeremy today to present our research topic of the relationship between intention to recycle used cooking oil and recycling behavior among the SPM ITB class of 2026 students. Do you know that a single liter of used cooking oil can contamine up to 1 milliliters of water, making it a major environmental pollutant? Indonesia is the world's largest palm oil producer, but the regulations on the used cooking oil remain insufficient. The study addresses the common intention behavior gap by examining if the intention to recycle translates into actual recycling behavior among the SPM ITB class of 2026 students, as outlined in the problem statement, research question, and also research objective. For the literature review, we use theory of planned behavior as our base that review the relationship between intention and behavior. Intention is a motivational factor that influences behavior, while behavior is a coordinated internal response of a living organism as a whole to an internal or external stimulus. A person's intention to act is a measure of their willingness to try and perform a behavior. However, their actual behavior is also heavily influenced by non-motivational factors such as availability of opportunity, resource, time, and money. We targeted SBM ITB students, class of 2026, as it is more specific, homogeneous, and a part of Gen Z. Based on the previous study, it was found that there is still a lack of regulation and public awareness about used cooking oil recycling in Indonesia, which is in line with research measuring consumer behavior. In addition, other studies provide a conceptual foundation for the circular economy and the relationship between cognitive, affective, social factor, and waste management behavior. Next.
Now, for the hypothesis. Our study is grounded in the well-established theory of planned behavior, which states that a person's intention to perform a behavior is a strong predictor of them actually performing that behavior. From this theory, we formulated two competent hypotheses, which is the null hypothesis. There is no relationship between the recycling intention and recycling behavior among SBM ITB 2026 students, and the alternative, there is relationship between recycling intention and recycling behavior among SBM ITB 2026 students. And from the theoretical framework, this relationship is visualized simply by this framework, which shows the central premise that recycling intention directly influences recycler behavior. And for the methodology, we designed a robust methodology with the paradigm is positivism, focusing on measurable data. This led us to a quantitative approach using a cross-sectional survey to collect numerical data at a single point in time. Then we measured our two key variables, which is the recycle intention using a Likert scale based on agreement with statements, and recycle behavior measured by the frequency of past actions. Our target population was SBM ITB class of 2026, which is 338 students. Using the Sokovin formula with a 10% margin of error, we calculated the ideal sample size is 78 students. Due to time and energy constraints, we finally collected sample consists of 57 students. Finally, our data analysis follow a multi-step process. The first one is we run a validity and reliability test to ensure our data is accurate and consistent. Then the data goes to the classical assumption test, which is include normality, linearity, and homoscedasticity test. And finally, we calculated all using a simple linear regression to determine whether to accept the alternative hypothesis or to reject the null hypothesis. Next.
Okay, so let us now look at the key findings. So as you can see from the data analysis, this is the respondent demographic overview, which are 100% Gen Z and from SBM ITB. And the first one is both the validity and reliability tests show that our instruments were valid and reliable, with a Chromback alpha is above 0.70. And second, the classical assumption test confirmed that our data met the requirements for regression analysis, either for normality, linearity, or homoscedasticity test. And now to the most important part, the regression result. We got findings that the correlation between recycling intention and recycling behavior showed a weak relationship with a R-square value of 9.9%. This means that only about 10% of the variation can be explained by recycling intention, while the remaining 90% is influenced by other factors. Moreover, the statistical test indicated that the relationship is significant, with a p-value of 0.017, which is less than 0.05. Then we reject the null hypothesis and accept that there is a relation between recycle intention and the recycle behavior. And these findings confirm that the theory of planned behavior, which emphasizes that intention is a motivational factor influencing the behavior. However, the weak correlation highlight the intention behavior gap. And based on our research, we can see that there is a significant relationship between recycling intention and recycling behavior among SBM ITB students of the class of 2026. And given this result, we recommend several practical steps. The first one is awareness campaign. By raising awareness and providing practical knowledge, students may be encouraged to turn their intention into real action. And the second one, facilities and opportunities. When recycling becomes convenient, and students will be more likely to follow through. And the last one is about the future research. Says intention explain only 9% of recycling behavior, then future studies to explore other influencing factors such as social norms, perceived behavioral control, or even economic incentive. And in conclusion, our study provides important insight into how intention translates into behavior, and we believe we can encourage greater participation in sustainable practices, starting with something as simple as recycling used cooking oil. Thank you for your attention.